In other news, U.S. news outlets have released an audio recording that appears to demonstrate that the former President Donald Trump knowingly held on to highly classified documents. CNN and the New York Times reporting on the recording of a July 2021 meeting after Trump left office at his golf club in New Jersey. Now in it, Trump appears to refer to a highly confidential document about Iran that he is holding in his hands. The tape contradicts a recent interview Trump gave to Fox News in which he described the documents as newspaper clippings. Take a listen.
This was done by the military, given to me. I think we can probably, right?
I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to try to
Declassify.
figure out a
See, as president, I could have declassified.
Yeah.
Now I can't, but this is
Yeah,
classified.
now we have a problem.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It's so cool.
We can now bring in Reed Brody, former New York Assistant Attorney General. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us here on France 24. How damaging is this recording for the former president?
It's incredibly damaging. I mean, some of this, the transcript we saw in the indictment, but listening to the tape itself totally undermines Trump's defense. I mean, really, this is game over in terms of the facts and the law. I mean, Trump is accused of having classified documents and of willfully retaining them. He's always said that he didn't know, or that he didn't know that they were classified, or that he could have declassified them. I mean, here we have on tape Trump referring and showing people. I mean, if you say how cool this is, let's bring in some Coca-Colas, let's talk about these. This really makes this an open and shut case on the facts, on the law. I mean, we hear Trump talking about documents, acknowledging that they're classified, acknowledging that he can no longer declassify them. And these are documents dealing with, this is a multi-page document outlining a potential attack on Iran. I mean, this is about as sensitive a document as you can get.
And can this recording be used as evidence, even if it was taped without the former president's consent?
Oh, well, first of all, it was taped with his consent.
Okay.
I mean, Trump was very aware that he was on tape. This was a tape, as far as we know, this was two researchers on behalf of his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, who are writing a book. This was taped, though, we believe, by his own people. There were two of his aides in the room. They taped it. I mean, nobody is going to be in there taping without Donald Trump's permission. So the jury is going to listen to this. I mean, the jury is going to hear these 2 minutes in which Donald Trump basically admits to the crime of which he's accused.
Now, Donald Trump has pled not guilty, but you're saying based on this evidence, this is an open and shut case. If Donald Trump is found guilty, what time could he be looking at?
Well, it's an open and shut case, as I said, on the facts and the law. I mean, I think what Trump's strategy here will be to delay, to push this back so that it happens, after the elections. He's going to make he's obviously going to make every motion to move the trial, to delay the trial. It's a complicated trial also because almost all of the documents involved are classified documents. And so there has to be special procedures under the there's a special act for dealing with classified documents in a trial. And then, of course, he has to go before a jury, and a jury of 12 people in counties that voted for Donald Trump heavily. You only need one to to prevent a unanimous jury.
Will the jury need to be given the necessary security clearance if they're going to be listening to about classified documents, essentially?
Well, essentially, they're going to the jury is not going to be, given the exact details of the documents. But first of all, Trump's lawyers don't even have a security clearance yet, which is one of the factors that's going to delay this. Everybody who's involved in handling the documents has to get security clearance. The jury will not be given, because this is a trial in open court. I mean, there will be reporters in court, and so the documents have to be presented in a way that respects the confidential nature of each document. And so we're not going to get the we're not going to hear about the attack plans against Iran. We're not going to hear, what the U.S. knows about Iran's defense and what weapons the United States is going to use and things. We're just going to hear, in a coded way. But this is a very complex thing in itself. And this is going to be time-consuming, and I'm sure that Trump's lawyers are going to make it even more time-consuming.
And you said the strategy here is to delay, delay, delay. If Donald Trump does win the next election, it's a possibility that he will try and kill this case in its entirety,
won't he?
Won't he?
Definitely kill the case. I mean, we know that, since Watergate, there's been a practice of keeping the Justice Department and prosecutors at arm's length. I mean, we saw in this indictment, that this was, the Attorney General appointed an independent specialist, mostly independent special counsel, Jack Smith, to keep everything at arm's length so that there would be no taint. Donald Trump does not believe that, and he said he doesn't believe it. He said that, when I'm president, I'm going to appoint a special counsel to investigate Joe Biden and this mafia and blah, blah, blah. Donald Trump will just instruct if he becomes president, and case hasn't been tried. He's just going to instruct the Attorney General and the prosecutors to drop the case. There's no question about that.
Reed Brody, you're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us on the program today.
You're quite welcome.